Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
One of the nice things are things called trap boxes. This is a trap box for those that don't know. This is sort of yucky. Inside, trapped, and unfortunately this is I have a couple different kinds from different people. Some trap boxes are made of plastic and they've got a window on the top where you can see the contents. The contents of this particular trap box at the moment happens to be a Western green Mamba, which are very tricky customers to work with. And I can see that the last time I took this apart to clean it, I put the door in backwards so I can't reach the latch. So I just have to be careful that it doesn't come out and visit me. But the nice thing about trap boxes, if you can get the snake that inhabits that cage to use it, I may need the jaws of life to get the door off, but it allows you to clean the cage without having to remove the animal. So what you do is you reach in with a hook if you see the animal in the trap box, you shut the door, and you can easily, safely, and quickly, without much fanfare, clean the substrate. It's good for spot cleaning and other sort of things because the droppings from mice and rats and stuff accumulate. Some snakes are tidy and will only poop in one spot. Others will just happen to do it wherever they like. Some of them will actually prefer to poop along the track that the window is, so it makes a mess and you have difficulty opening and closing it. But all said and done, this is much nicer than having to take a Western green Mamba out of the cage. Western green Mambas are very flighty, very nervous snakes. They don't really like to interact with people. You can even raise them from a hatchling and they're still just totally crazy. These are not snakes to be trifled with. They're long, they're fast, they're arboreal, they have very toxic venom and kill lots of people within the range that are bitten. People don't get bitten very often because these snakes have a tendency to stay out of people's way. Like most snakes, they're more interested in reserving their venom for killing prey items. This particular Western green only eats live. So you don't get to see it feed, you don't get to even see it very often. I actually take more still pictures than videos because, like I said, it's a very quick moving, very nervous snake that doesn't like to do Western green Mamba camp. And I think I can just leave it at that. So, here we are. We're just going to clean this out, make a mess on the floor to have to sweep it up. And probably what I'll do is probably put some fresh substrate in. And usually what I like to do is just sort of move the substrate around and get any fecal material that sort of pops up to the surface. I do a total substrate change about every 3 months because substrate is very expensive. This is, what the heck is this? This is like a floor, it's called forest floor, and it's a cypress mulch substrate. And I like using this because it holds water much better than other substrates, and it's a natural substrate. And number two, being cypress and living in a swamp and exposed to water all the time, it prevents the growth of fungus and mold. So I can use it in a tropical setting and not worry about growing mold and fungus and stuff like that. So this is all tidied up. So I will clean the water dish out and freshen that up, and then put the trap box right back where it belongs and pull the door. Okay, I already put the clean fresh water dish in place, and now I will return my Mamba friend to where this was. Let's see here. Yes, Al, let's not tip it and open the door. Now the door doesn't slide really freely, but it does slide. Okay, so what's the disadvantage of the trap box? Well, I'm glad you've asked that question. The disadvantage, of course, is you have to be able to get the snake to go in there. And believe it or not, for some reason, some snakes don't like going into the trap box. So, doesn't really help you at all if the snake doesn't like to use the trap box. So that's all set. Let me close this up and move it out of the way. All right, so the Mamba is in the box, and you reach in with the hook, and hopefully the little bugger doesn't come flying out. Generally they don't, because they're frightened, because there has been some gross movement in their environment. So that's about as safe as you can get for keeping a venomous snake. But again, it requires the cooperation of the snake, like it does in anything that you do with animals. And some animals cooperate, other animals don't. So when I come into a room and I see a snake in the trap box, oh, I stop whatever I was going to do, and I close the trap box door, freshen their cage, clean it, whatever, and then resume my normal plans for the day. Here's the western green Mamba. He's a very twitchy fellow. That's why I like using the trap box. He's very, very, well, let's say, volatile. You know, I've had him out of the cage many times. Before I used the trap box, he was a tough customer to handle. How you doing, bud? Huh? How you doing? Don't know if it's a male or female, but he's a cool snake. He's pretty relaxed. Well, much more relaxed with me right now, but he has a tendency to explode like a rocket. So we'll just cut this short and not take any chances with him. I don't feel like chasing him around the room or taking a bite. Well, now it's time to deal with this little fire hose. Hey, hey, hey. Go after the food and not trying to escape. Come on. Here you go. You bit it. Now eat it. Come on. Never mind what's going on out here. Oh, I see you shed. Good for you. Come on. Oh, don't be so difficult. It can be such a pain in the asses. And pain other places. Oh, look at this nice head plate. Yeah, he doesn't like me messing with his furniture. Just never mind your own business. Huh? Here. That's what you want to pay attention to. Wow. That took long enough to get together, huh? You'll stop chewing on it and swallow it. Want another one, dude? There you go. Well, it took you long enough to get the idea. I've always wondered, how can they eat and back up at the same time? Well, what the hell was that all about? Actually, this zebra spitter is a relative of the black beast. The black beast is a subspecies. This is Naya nigricincta, and the black beast was Naya nigricincta. Would I? Would I? Of course I would. I guess he just feels more comfortable further away from me during the feeding process. Not that I was going to reach out and touch him when his mouth was full. I just don't think that would be a good thing to do. Well, he's a growing boy. Unfortunately, his sister is no longer with us. She had a bad move on her part and got her head stuck in the cage trying to escape and suffocated. Very, very sad when you find a snake like that, but snakes will try to escape and even accidentally kill themselves in the process. Is that enough, dude? I think that's enough. Well, in here we have one of my male horned pit vipers, Protobothrops cornutus. He's from Vietnam via the Moscow Zoo, and he's got some sort of constriction in his throat that he can't swallow full-size prey. He really loves chicks, but they're way too big for his tiny throat. He used to be able to eat them, but I think maybe he took a bite and there was some necrosis and scarring. So I moved him off in his own little cage here, and he's his usual temperamental self when it comes to feeding. Go ahead. Yeah, I know. We play this game every week when I feed you. And since he can only eat small items, I give him a couple of large pinks. And I do it on a weekly basis. The other adults that are in the cage don't get fed nearly that often, but he's being difficult as usual, and he goes in the back and hides, and I have to sort of drag him up to the front here. Hi! Nice to see you again. Here. Now come on, quit playing games and eat it. Eventually, he generally will bite and hold it. Come on. Come on. Come on. You know, come on. No retreating to the back. Come on. Yeah, I know.
I'm running.
You know, he circled around. Oh, stick your hand in there, Viperkeeper, and I'll bite it. Come on. This isn't really as warm as he likes, but as he farts around, it gets cooler and cooler. Come on. So, you know, this is the game that Lori and I play with various snakes that are reluctant feeders, and this is very time consuming. Oh, come on. Come on, that's going to fall. See, that wasn't even on a tooth. Come on. I'm going to bother you until you eat. I've been feeding him quite regularly. Come on. So maybe he's just not hungry. Maybe he's just going to test me again.
Well, maybe that he doesn't like having both of us here.
Yeah, maybe the camera's weirding him out. Hey.
Nope, nope, nope.
I am going to be very difficult. And we have the third thing that we do is we put them on the tabletop. Come on. He is just not interested today. You know, since these are pit vipers, well, come on. They will, oh, well, now we decided. Okay. They have necrotizing and hemorrhagic venom. I don't know a whole lot about their venom because it's really not well studied. I don't know if the Vietnamese government produces an anti-venom for it. I'm certain that these things have bitten our soldiers during the Vietnam conflict, but I've seen no records of the effects of the venom, and I would imagine it could probably be treated just symptomatically and you would recover. I don't know how much tissue you would lose, but I imagine it would cause some morbidity. So let's just sort of back off since he's got it in his mouth. And I'll leave the cage door open. I know that just drives other people crazy while I feed some others, because how can you have more than one cage open? Well, I do.